Welcome everybody to the second in the series of the Hub in a Hybrid World webinars for Canada. Yeah, nice and early. We're a couple of minutes before start time, so still time to get yourself comfy, grab a drink, ready for 2 minutes time. So we'll just give everybody a little more time to join and be ready to start here again in approximately 30-40 seconds, something like that. Okay, so here we go. Thank you everybody for joining us on our Hub in a Hybrid World series of webinars. Today we are concentrating on manufacturing and supply chain. So what I'm going to say right from the outset is please post your questions into the Q&A box and we will get to those at the end. My name is Jane Hammersley and I work with CollabTech, and together with Microsoft we are hosting this series of webinars and also putting together content and stories that you can share with your customers in order to basically be able to tell the story about Hub. We want to help you tell that story to your customers about how Hub's going to be used, or how Hub is used in the manufacturing scenarios and supply chain. I'm going to hand over now to Laura. Laura, do you want to share your content? And we can get you and your content on the screen and be ready to go. And Laura's going to just give us a Microsoft view, Microsoft Canada, and really set the scene for us on this manufacturing and supply chain webinar. Laura, over to you.
Awesome, thank you. So hello everyone, my name is Laura. I am the Surface Portfolio Product Marketing Manager with Microsoft Canada. So thank you for joining us today. This is the second in a series of 4 webinars highlighting Hub in today's hybrid world. So hopefully some of you joined us for the first one, where we looked at how education can benefit from the Surface Hub 2S, as well as its unique Surface feature set, which lights up that collaborative experience of teams, which we know is a major opportunity aiding all types and levels of education. If you missed it, this will be available on demand, and we'll share that link with you in a follow-up email. It was really well received. We were really happy to hear that. In fact, we actually had some questions to create some customer-facing webinars. So if that's something you're interested in for your customers, just let us know. And so Microsoft continues to support our partners with that right information and collateral, to enable you to be able to engage with your customers. So focusing on Hub, and today specifically highlighting the Surface Hub 2S in manufacturing environments, together with that firsthand knowledge and experiences that CollabTech brings, we'll be sharing stories from successful deployments from all around the world. And so manufacturing is vital, but it also requires the physical presence of shop floor workers. We know this is creating a wide range of challenges, which have been emphasized and added to by COVID-19. And so manufacturing is having to adjust rapidly to new demands, including having to safely maintain distancing, pivoting to adjust new supply chain realities, and changing demands for new and existing products. And all of this while trying to maintain as efficient a production system as possible. The ability to maintain new data, manage new data and insights to maintain production is more important than ever. And this speed of change, the requirement for digital collaboration to keep up with this demand of rapidly changing world, delivers us all the opportunity to enable manufacturers to successfully, efficiently, and safely keep this world supply chain going. And so before I pass it back, I do want to call out our 3 awesome Surface authorized distributors in Canada, so Ingram, Synix, and Tech Data. I will also mention that we have Surface and Hub specialists at all of our distributors. And so as always, your first checkpoint is always to contact your account manager, and they can connect you with the right people as needed. In addition to this session, there is more information in the recently published Surface Hub ebook and the supporting infographic. So both of which will be shared with you after these webinars. And so now it's time to take a deeper glance into the world of supply chain and
Thank you, Laura. We just lost your audio at the end there, but you were handing over to me, I believe. So thank you very much for that. Great positioning. Remember those 3 disties, those Surface Hub disties that can help us out here. And we want to talk specifically, as you know, on manufacturing and supply chain. And Laura did a great job of positioning what that looks like. So before we go into some specific examples and some specific market stats, I want to share with you the Scissor Reel that we shared for the first time on LinkedIn this week, and hope that you use this with your customers in this manufacturing arena. Okay, I'm going to just stop sharing there because I know that I might have made a little mistake there when sharing my screen. I don't think I hit the button that says include my system audio, and I've done that before. So let's try that one more time from the beginning. Okay, just bear with me 1 second while I find the right screen to share. You don't want to see me twice on this one. Okay, we've got it here. Good. All right. Too many buttons for me, but I think I've found it now. So here's the Scissor Reel.
With manufacturing operations distributed around the globe, sharing information requires technology that breaks down barriers, from language and geography through to the inclusion of locally held information, to allow teams to communicate and actively collaborate in real time, using data that is accessed and retained securely. The Microsoft Surface Hub 2S brings collaboration to every step of the supply chain, no matter where teams are located. External personnel connect to the central office seamlessly, communicating using video while simultaneously working on shared content. This information can then be reshared out to co-workers, irrespective of location, on either personal or group devices. Supply chain is where multiple organizations meet, often resulting in analog elements of the process flow. With Microsoft Whiteboard on Surface Hub 2S, this can easily be captured and included into a digital workflow, creating both a living document and audit trail. Participating in a multi-company meeting could not be easier. Using Microsoft Teams and Surface Hub 2S, communication is clear, seamless and instant, reducing costs associated with both time and travel. The Surface Hub 2S can be used to review designs and suggest changes, using content sourced directly from devices within the Microsoft Teams meeting or connected locally using Miracast. This allows information sourced from multiple devices and software platforms to be dynamically captured and collated to enable real-time efficiencies. Real-world, real interaction. Surface Hub 2S bridges the digital and physical divide in today's hybrid workplaces, further enhanced by the global availability of Microsoft Surface Hub 2S 85-inch in 2021.
Well, the great news there is, of course, 2021 is here, and so is the global availability of Surface Hub, so 85-inch, and we are lucky enough to have a unit in our Phoenix office, which we have been working with and working on, and certainly trialing out the boxing and unboxing and trialing out the installation. So we're ready to help you deploy that 85-inch. So super exciting week. So let's jump straight into the positioning of Microsoft Surface Hub into the manufacturing and supply chain workforce. So I think you see the headlines on here. Look at those headlines. The 20% of the world's workforce is in manufacturing. This is actually in real numbers around 600 million people out of the 3 billion plus workers that we have in the world right now. Now that means there's 600 million people going into work still, even though a lot of countries are still in an enforced lockdown. And it says on the right hand side there, this idea of the fourth industrial revolution, and that was meant to be the AI and the advanced technology replacing the human workforce. Well, good news is this hasn't happened, and in fact we're seeing an increase of people working on the factory floor, because as consumers we have this appetite that still seems to be growing for manufactured goods. Quite incredible, really. And that means what's happening today is there is an increase in manufacturing, but there's an increase in data that's being produced by these manufacturing facilities. It's called their big data. But imagine all the IoT data that's being collected, all the production data efficiencies, all the data that's being produced. How do we get that data from the manufacturing plant back into the experts and back out to produce additional efficiencies? So it's super important we understand how this works so that we know how to position Hub in this environment. So if we take a look next into a little bit deeper and deeper into how Hub is a game changer in this digital collaboration environment. And when I say game changer, it's quite an overused phrase, but it really does support this digital collaboration environment. And there's research suggests that it can actually unlock around $100 billion worth of revenue and boost in this productivity. And that's quite amazing. You just think about that for a second. If we get this right, it unlocks 100 million in additional productivity. So we've got a big responsibility to get this right, and together I think certainly when we look at these Surface Hub stories, then we'll see how manufacturing really does help to cement this for us all. So next on that, there's like I say, there's 4 trends that are really driving this, and the next on this is how we get the skills that are in the central location out to the supply chain and the wider manufacturing base. Firstly, we are being impacted by baby boomers retiring, so experienced workers, their knowledge just sits here. How do we transport that knowledge out to the younger, less skilled workers that are coming in? So here collaboration is going to be super important to us here as well. And then if you think about that those less skilled people might be in different locations, and certainly now we're moving from what we used to talk about offshoring manufacturing to what we're saying is next shoring manufacturing. And next shoring are the new countries that are coming in and really taking over in terms of this, the opportunity, and that when they call that the mint countries of Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria and Turkey. Then we start to separate that design and engineering and production, and where they all happen begins to be separated. So think about that, where the expertise is now and where it's sitting in the future and moving to. And so that shop floor data, where it's being produced, where it's being manufactured, needs to be created there, but dispersed out to the supply chain. If there's any changes that need to be made, that needs to be sent in real time. So extracting that value and that communication. So how has COVID really had an impact? Well, we know it's had a massive impact on everything we do. There are health and safety concerns of coming into a manufacturing location. So IoT sensors are being used to basically keep the manufacturing floors safe and social distancing, etc., etc. Again, instant real-time collaboration is just super important to ensure that all of these facilities are safe. So how do we help with this collaboration? Well, this data that we're creating needs to be put somewhere, and it needs to be shared as well, but you need to do something with it. Now, data is great, and we're creating an awful lot of data, but unless you do something with it, obviously there's no point having it. So the impact on the work practices now has been fundamental. We need to create this global view and get the information to the stakeholders that can make instant decisions for the local manufacturing facilities. As I said before, if the central manufacturing is dispersed to other countries, then the supply chain has also dispersed. What once was revolving around a single manufacturing plant is now dispersed to revolving around 4, maybe 5 that is dispersed globally. So super important that we have those communications. Yazine is going to talk to us in just a moment about some actual use cases that we hope you can all use when you're talking to your customers, because we know that decision makers are all over the world. We also know that there is expertise that are located in different organisations. So that last phrase is super important. Digital collaboration tools are deemed to be critical to manufacturing organisations and the supply chains that they rely on. COVID has undoubtedly created this hybrid workplace, more so in this manufacturing world, because they can't work remotely. I think we're super lucky as knowledge workers that we can work remotely, but manufacturing can't. So getting the comms right is just hugely important to manufacturing in their supply chain organisations. So I mentioned beforehand that we've got some live use cases to share with you, and this is what we're going to go to now. So as I said last time, CollabTech is an organisation, a service-based organisation that supports the channel. Channel partners who have customers, and we support you with those services, and those services: integration, deployment, installation, maintain and support. So what we want to do is enable you to sell Hub and MTR and your other Microsoft Teams rooms devices efficiently, and so that your customers have a great experience. We know that if they have a great experience, they will likely buy more, and that's what we want to help you do. So let me hand over to my colleague Yazine, who's going to tell you some more.
Hello and welcome to Hub in a Hybrid World. My name is Yassine Hayo. I am a collaboration specialist at CollabTech. We help people work better together. We are currently experiencing the world's largest work experiment. COVID-19 has revolutionized the way in which we are working. How do you solve problems that are many miles away from where you might be working? How do you interact and work together with colleagues who may not be physically in the same location as you? Many of our customers in manufacturing have found innovative and amazing solutions to this problem. Ourselves at CollabTech work with the channel. We don't sell directly, and this means that we have seen many success stories of how Surface Hub has aided and revolutionized how customers in manufacturing are working. And what we have done is compiled that information into a 15-minute webinar of our favorite manufacturing stories of how Surface Hub and Microsoft Teams is being used. Let's jump straight into a high-level overview. So the Surface Hub is really about dissolving boundaries, agile tools, and maintaining a digital workflow. If there is only 3 things you take away from today's session, let them be these 3 things here. The Surface Hub dissolves boundaries between the physical and the virtual space, allowing analog and digital content to interact together seamlessly. The agility of the Surface Hub allows you to virtually as well as physically move around and be mobile. The steel case stand that comes with the Surface Hub means you can actually wheel it around, and the option of the APC battery means that you won't even lose power or connectivity when you are doing so. The digital workflow of the Surface Hub allows you to continuously work without breaking your digital stride. The Surface Hub gives you creative and innovative tools that allow you to continue working with ease. It is not at all atypical for a customer of ours to have head office located in Paris, corporate office located in London, and manufacturing plants located in North America, India, as well as China. How do we get all of these pieces working together in harmony at the same time? A Surface Hub in each one of these locations as a central all-in-one collaboration point allows our customers in manufacturing to easily and seamlessly work together. The simple nature of the Surface Hub, as well as some of the native applications on the Surface Hub like Microsoft Teams and Word, means that there is minimal training required to reach proficiency in using Surface Hub. In other words, it's a walk up and use device. Let's take a look at a real world scenario of how Surface Hub was used. One customer of ours, a manufacturing and bottling plant to be specific, found an innovative way to collapse the decision-making process using the Surface Hub, saving time and therefore saving money. I think that is of course important for every single company. How exactly did they do this? Well, a quality assurance engineer came up with an excellent idea for some new materials to use in a bottling plant. Ordinarily, because this process involves many different stakeholders, this could take weeks and even months for the plan to go from inception to fruition. But using Surface Hub, this was trimmed down dramatically. Having all of the relevant people on a Microsoft Teams call, all of the relevant decision makers, essentially sped this process up exponentially, allowing collaboration and communication seamlessly and very easily. One way in which this was done by this manufacturing company was to bring in content to the Surface Hub from Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, the web, or in this case, Miracast. Live information from chats within Microsoft Teams were quickly and easily imported to the Surface Hub and brought as part of the digital workflow of what was going on. This in turn allowed real-time collaboration between all of the different stakeholders and allowing a free-flowing exchange of information. Now, as you can see, there are many different ways in which you can work with the Surface Hub. There is the visual and audio aspect of the Surface Hub, but there is also an interactive way of working together with your colleagues in real time. Now, data and security is another important point. If there is confidential information that you want to keep to yourself on Surface Hub, you can simply end the session and walk away from the Surface Hub without having to worry about your data being lost. I'd like you to take note of the 3 elements that Surface Hub has just made use of: visual, verbal, and interactive, the 3 types of learning, you could say. The Surface Hub has been able to combine all 3 of these whilst not having physical proximity to the people you are collaborating with. Let's take a look at another scenario. How do you solve a problem that is 2,000 miles away? This was a problem faced by one of our customers in manufacturing, and they found a creative solution to get around this problem. This particular customer relied on the movement of goods through their warehouse and their factory floor. This means that any interruption or any problems with their machinery could cost thousands, if not millions, in lost revenue, if not fixed very, very quickly. Using the Surface Hub, this customer was able to pinpoint where the problem was on the manufacturing floor. Because of the agility of the Surface Hub, utilizing the steel case stand and the APC battery, they were actually able to physically wheel the Surface Hub to the problem, meaning that you can get rid of power and Ethernet cables and actually bring the hub to where it needs to be, as opposed to the other way around. Pictures of the piece of machinery were then uploaded onto the whiteboard, and collaborators used it to then troubleshoot and find out exactly where the problem is. Technicians were able to also collaborate directly onto the Surface Hub to provide troubleshooting fixes for this particular scenario. In this particular case, fortunately, the machinery was up and running again in minutes. This could have been a potentially disastrous situation had Surface Hub not been able to come to the rescue, so to speak. Now let's take a look at how the 85-inch Surface Hub is used in manufacturing.
The 85-inch Surface Hub 2S provides manufacturers with all the Surface Hub features we love on a larger 85-inch matte display. With a much greater proportion of real estate than its 50-inch counterpart, the 85-inch caters for more rugged uses of the Surface Hub. As you can see from this side-by-side comparison, the gorgeous 85-inch provides much more space. This caters to cases where manufacturers want the collaborative freedom to work, yet require more physical space to do so. The only real downside of the 85-inch is that it doesn't quite fit into our studio, so our CollabTech colleagues from our Mesa office are here to show you around. So far, we've talked about using the Surface Hub to drive business decisions through powerful visual communication, and how Surface Hub allows experts to bring it to the problem. The final hub success story we want to share with you is one engine manufacturer we work with through the channel, who are using Hub to run tests and perform real-time diagnostics in virtual environments, increasing efficiency, saving time, and reducing travel costs. We were invited on site to configure multiple Surface Hubs, designed to be used as part of a large network of synchronized engine tests. On-site engineers were able to meet through Microsoft Teams on the predecessor of the 85-inch, the 84-inch Surface Hub 1. With a full-screen video feed, experts were able to collaboratively troubleshoot, with multiple people gathered around the Surface Hub. In today's hybrid world, the large display of the 85-inch means it can be used in larger meeting room spaces, allowing participants an opportunity to socially distance while still working together. They also use the 85-inch to display interactive, real-time telemetry data, creating a virtual environment in which they performed real-time testing and increased engagement without having to fly individuals on site. This is only proven to be a more valuable use case, as in today's world, flying is not an option for many. Not only does the 85-inch allow multiple collaborators to work together in real time, but it also grants the capability for it to be used as the central mission control of the project. The 85-inch has a superior ability to visualize content. Multitasking is seamless, making use of the 85-inch hub's extra real estate to do so with minimal loss in the size of the window when compared to the 50-inch. Annotations, brainstorming, and audio-visual communication allow the dissolving of boundaries between sites, reducing the impact of lack of proximity to the problem. In short, the 85-inch Surface Hub 2S has all the amazing features of the 50-inch, with much more real estate, granting freedom to manufacturers in larger spaces, and allowing power use cases where real-time multitasking is imperative.
So there you have it. The Surface Hub is about dissolving physical and virtual boundaries, enabling collaboration across all different locations all around the globe. It's about the agility the Surface Hub provides, especially within manufacturing, allowing you to wheel the hub to the problem. And it's about creating a smooth digital workflow whilst doing all these things, so your customers can actually focus on doing the work that they need to do. Thank you very much. I'm Yassine Hayo, Collaboration Specialist.
Thank you, Yassine. That was excellent. Yeah, I've done what we should never do, which is, all these live presentations, demonstrations, but I have my hub behind me. I'm fortunate enough to have kidnapped one from my office, so it is in my home office now, which I couldn't do without actually now. Just picking up on something Yazin talked about, which was that example in the bottling plant. And I think Yazin used these words, but they took hub to the problem. So that production line, and CollabTech gets involved in the integration of hub, not just at the beginning, but also throughout the deployment phase. And this was one of our collaboration experts being on site with hub 2S and the Steelcase Roam stand and the APC battery, where they wheeled hub to the problem. In their own words, that problem could have cost them tens of thousands, but actually getting hub to there, getting the key experts into that Teams meeting with the whiteboard, looking at blueprints, looking at possible solutions. They do believe it saved them multiples of tens of thousands. So it paid for the hub itself right there and then in that problem. So thank you, Yassine. A really great synopsis there for us. And he talked about dissolving physical boundaries, and hub certainly does that. It's agile both in how it can move around, but actually it's agile in its use as well. And we stay in our digital workflow, i.e. we stay in Teams throughout all of the day and all of the process. So super examples there, thank you. Okay, so let's switch it up. Let's get interactive and switch to the questions. Laura, I'm going to go to you for the first one, and it is actually a question that is probably close to the hearts of a lot of our channel partners, and that is what discounts are available for Surface Hub 2S? Laura.
Yes, so deal registration is available on the Hub 2S, but if you have any specific pricing questions or requests, just reach out to your distributor.
Awesome, thank you so much, that's great. Perfect answer, thank you very much. So we've got the 3 distributors. If you've got opportunities and you want to register a special bid, just go and talk to them. If you are an authorized device reseller, then I'm sure you've got your portal to do that directly as well. Right, next question. Yazin, I'm going to put you on the spot for this one, and it is actually something that we can all identify, which is legacy platforms, in this case WebEx. We've got a manufacturing company here who has got WebEx and a legacy environment. How can they use their hub with WebEx? Yazin.
Thank you, Jane. That's a good question. And yeah, a lot of people are using legacy equipment. In this case, if you have the latest version of Teams Edition on the Surface Hub, the 2020 edition, it means that you can use Edge Chromium and actually access WebEx meeting files and directly join the meeting via the browser. So, good question.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yazin. That was a very good question. And I'm going to put the next question for you as well. I think I know the answer, but I don't want to tempt fate and get it wrong. So this partner has a customer that's got Surface Hub 1 units. Don't know how many, but they've got the ones, and they're asking, when will Windows 10 Team 2020 software be available for Surface Hub 1 units?
So it's actually been rolled out at the, recently, so you can actually have Windows 10 Teams 2020 on Surface Hub 1. If it doesn't have an automatic rollout for you, then you can use recovery tools to load Windows 10 Teams 2020 on it.
Wonderful, thank you, very concise. So when you say recovery tools, you can download that through a USB key thumb drive directly onto Hub. So thank you. Yes.
So you have to use a USB to SATA cable, what's called that, and yeah, there's a different way to do it, but yeah, the point is still stuck. Right,
tell me that again. You're live. Tell me that again on the screen.
Yeah, so it's a recovery tool and a USB to SATA SATA cable.
Great. There you go. Thank you, Yazine. I've learned something today too. Always good. And I'll just check the questions. I've got one more in here, and I'll take this one. What's happened to hub display only? Okay, so hub display only. Right now, we don't have any visibility of when that might be here or on the roadmap. We know that a couple of years ago, was it a couple of years ago when Hub 2S was announced, that was announced on the roadmap as well. But right now, I'm just super excited that we've got now the 50.5 inch and the 85 inch working seamlessly, full integration in Teams certified. So I think it's a good place for us to say, let's really concentrate on what we've got. This is a super efficient collaboration tools. So I'm going to leave it there. We've got no more questions. Laura, I'm going to just pop you in the live stream. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
And thank you to Yazine for being our technical expert. So all that's left for me to say is thank you everybody for joining. We have got same time, same place. We are looking at Hub in the hybrid world of financial services next week, and we've got some more exciting case studies and user studies to share with you then. So once again, thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you next week.